As a kid, I used to love reading stories about being an adult, wearing fancy suits with my coffee on hand and walking into work like I owned the building. But now that I'm actually an adult and hate being one, I find myself desperately trying to go back in time, and so now my favorite genre has become stories about adolescence. So here's a list of recommendations for some of my favorite slice of life high school comedies. Let me start off with one of my favorite shonen works, Phantom Busters. The story follows 4 high school students in Kamakura as they attempt to eliminate local ghosts. The title and the overall setup of the story are inspired by the 1984 hit Ghostbusters. But instead of using nuclear power equipment to capture phantoms, one of the 4 boys, eats them. Like its predecessor, each member has a unique role in the team. The central figure, the Peter Venkman of Phantom Busters, is Mogari, aka the eater of the group. He came from a prestigious family in Akita with a long history dealing with phantoms. Even though Mogari has the power to eat ghosts, he is not equipped with the power to see or hear them. That is where 2 other members come into play. The first is Zaki. He is born with the gift of being able to see phantoms, a gift that has troubled him his entire life. He wants to give the impression of a delinquent in hopes of avoiding phantoms, but at the same time it also keeps people away from him. At his heart, Zaki is a soft manga otaku. In chapter 2, Zaki actually states he had came to this specific school because of Slam Dunk, which famously took place in Kamakura. The second is Tamon. He is able to hear the voices of phantoms and communicate with them. Like Zaki, he grew up being judged because of this power, so much so that he began vomiting whenever he looked people in the eyes. Tamon's family runs a local instrument business, making him extremely musically talented. When the 3 touch each other, Zaki and Tamon can share their skills, whereas Mogari's phantom eating skill is unique to him. The only member in the group without a paranormal background is Koreshiki. He's an outstanding student and the only person who knows how to handle social interactions, making him an important liaison between the group and the rest of the world. Koreshiki is also canonically the best looking out of the 4 and is a quarter British, so his Japanese name, Eugene, actually comes from the English name, Eugene. If you're a fan of catching references, Phantom Buster is a perfect work for you. Other than the just mentioned Slam Dunk, there are also references and/or mentions of Dark Gathering, Oshinoko, Jujutsu Kaisen, Spy Family, and Castle in the Sky, just to name a few. Outside of the manga itself, Phantom Busters also got a promotional video that came with the release of Volume 4. The PV has a cast of 4 top-notch voice actors. Mogari is voiced by Okamoto Nobuhiko, the voice of Himmeru in Freedom Beyond Journey's End. Zaki is voiced by Uchiyama Koki, the voice of Miyamura Izumi in Horimiya. Tamon is voiced by Masuda Toshiki, the voice of Kiyomine Haruka in Oblivion Battery. Koreshiki is voiced by Ichikawa Aoi, the voice of Takahaya Seiya in Tsurune. If you are unsure about getting into or purchasing the series, the PV gives you a good sense of the story's overall tone. The work is currently serialized on Jump Square and updates monthly. So far has 5 volumes and an English version is set to release this fall. One last thing I need to mention before I move on to the next recommendation. Though Phantom Busters is categorized as a shonen slice of life comedy, the story does include some violent scenes and descriptions of self-harm, even some implications of feces eating. If any of that is a turn-off for you, please be careful before you start reading the series. The second recommendation for today is Imouto wa Siscon Ani ga men dokusai, which directly translates to the sister who finds her sister-obsessed older brother a pain in the ass. This series is about the day-to-day of a sibling duo. Yu is the perfect older brother with a lethal face card, and Yui is the average-looking younger sister with a heart of gold. As the title suggests, the series finds comedy in Yu's brotherly obsession with Yui. And no, not in a Yosuka no Sora kind of way. One of Shizumendo's biggest attractions for me is Yu's different expressions. This is how he usually looks, and this is how he looks when it comes to matters related to Yui. In addition to Yu and Yui, the story's also got a flavor for supporting cast. The first is Mahiro, Yu's best friend whose hobby is to inflict maximum suffering on Yu. Next is Ryunosuke, an ex-hater of Yu turned biggest fan. Then comes Koyurin, an influencer who transferred to Yu and Yui's school. And the newest addition, Subaru, a famous magazine model who, cries easily. Mahiro's my favorite character, by the way. The series also got a promotional video on YouTube. The voice of Yu is Otsuka Takeo, the voice of Chishi in the Apothecary Diaries. And the voice of Yui is Hanamori Yumiri, the voice of Ayukawa Ryuji in Blue Period. If you scroll down and read the comment section of the video, you'll see a bunch of people saying that Mama would have been a great choice for you. I mean, Yu is quite similar to another character Mamo had voiced.
かわいいあ癒される疲れ吹っ飛ぶかわいいぞハルヒそのはにかんだ感じがグーベリグー一緒に告知したいゆいと告知したい本来の女子生徒に戻り女友達に囲まれて健全な学生生活を送ってくれることこそがこの父の願いぞ
Just to really drive the point home, this is you referencing Death Note. And the voice of Light Yagami is Miyano Mamoru. But Otsuka Takeo's performance is truly flawless. I really hope it's not messing up his voice. Thus far, Mendo has 4 volumes and updates on Pixiv Comic. You can read the newest chapter for free, so feel free to check it out. The mortifying ordeal of being seen is a slice-of-life rom-com that starts off with Ikizawa, a high school freshman, commenting on the bust of his classmate, Ikuchi. And in a shocking twist, Ikuchi returns Ikizawa's comments by stating that she has actually been staring his body in an erotic way for a while now. And that is how the story begins. Visually, the mortifying ordeal does not shy away from certain fetishes, like this, and this. Storytelling-wise, it doesn't pull anything new. Your classic, they both have a crush on each other but wants to hide it while still flirting kind of story. But the series' biggest appeal is not in the story anyways. It is how MMK draws Ikizawa and Ikuchi's body. She has a master in creating the right situation to present the character's body in just the right way. Unlike most rom-coms that takes the perspective of the female lead, the story has most of its story told from Ikizawa's perspective, so we get his first-hand thoughts on how it feels to be sexualized. This is not to say MMK has not spent the time developing the romantic relationship between the two. Their progress is slow but steady. Since both Ikizawa and Ikuchi are so open about their appreciations of each other's bodies, it makes their shyness about their feelings that much cuter. So far, the series has 3 volumes and updates weekly on Sunday Weebly, where you can read the latest chapter for free. The English version is set to be released in early 2026. My last recommendation for this video is a manga that takes the perspective of high school teachers. Onna no Sono no Hoshi, which translates to the start of the girl's garden. It follows Mr. Hoshi's life as a language and literature teacher in an all-female high school. It sounds like a suspicious setup, but there is absolutely nothing suspicious about the story. It is about the funny interactions between teachers and their students. Most of the story unfolds under the most random circumstances. For example, one chapter features Hoshi reading a student's observational diaries of him. Outside of Hoshi, the most prominent character in the story is Mr. Kobayashi, the math teacher who sits next to Hoshi in the staff room. The two often talk about the most random things you can imagine. One of their conversations went like this. Do you want to go have conveyor belt sushi? No, I don't like sushi. It is such a waste of life to not like sushi. Imagine your parents were killed by sushi. Now imagine how you would feel if I asked you to enjoy sushi. In case if you can't tell by the randomness of the things I just mentioned, the comedy of the series is unconventional. I'll describe it as a uniquely Japanese dry humor that's weirdly addictive. It really takes reading the work and feeling the pacing to understand just how good of a storyteller Wayama is. Wayama is a name you may have heard before. She's the author behind Let's Go Karaoke and Captivated by You. If you have read her work, you know her kind of humor is not suited for everyone. Those who enjoy it will love it, and those who don't get it will find it unbearable. All of Wayama's works are incredibly popular in Japan, so when Volume 3 of the series was released, it had a special edition that came with a Blu-ray OVA. The voice of Mr. Hoshi is Hoshino Gen, the writer and singer behind songs like Koi and Kikiki. The voice of Mr. Kobayashi is a name I've mentioned in this video already, Miyano Mamoru. Both Hoshino Gen and Mamo are huge names in Japan. Goes to tell you just how popular the work is domestically. The series currently has 4 volumes and is serialized on Feel Young magazine. That is all the recommendations for this video. Before I end, I just want to say, if you like a work, want to support its creator, and have the extra cash to do so, please do consider buying their works through official channels. Doesn't matter physical or electronic, because every sale does matter. If you don't have the extra cash to do so, you can also check out your local libraries, which typically have a decent catalog of mangas both in person and online. That is it for now. Thank you all for making it to the end of this video. I will see you in the next one. Hello, Potato here. This is a bonus section of the video where I'm just gonna go over my physical collection of the mangas I just recommended. Let me start off with She Is Fed Up with Her Siscon Brother. As of right now, I have 1 volume 1, 2 volume 2s and 2 volume 3s. If you're wondering why I bought multiple copies of the same volume, it is because when you buy mangas in Japan, some stores have tokudens, aka bonuses. Some bonuses are free and others you need to pay for. These 2 manga papers, for example, are free bonuses from Animate. And these 3 illustration cards are free bonuses from Manga O. For Manga O, She's Fed Up with Her Siscon Brother also offers paid bonuses, which are these acrylic keychains. You is the bonus for volume 2, and Mahiro is the bonus for volume 3. The newest volume 4 has Yui's keychain. In addition to the manga and its bonuses, a couple of months ago, the series also came out with these cute mini acrylic stands with Yu, Yui, and Mahiro dressed up as maids. I have Mahiro here with me, but for the life of me, I don't know where I put Yu and Yui. If I do manage to find it, I'll probably put it in post. But these acrylic stands are the cutest thing ever. Even the bases are made of heart. Since I got the entire set, it came with a bonus illustration card that looks like this. Next is Onna no Sono no Hoshi. I have all 4 volumes of the series, with 3 and 4 being special editions. The bonuses for each volume get sold out pretty quickly, so I only have 2 bonuses here. One for volume 3 and one for volume 4. As I mentioned earlier, the special edition for volume 3 comes with a Blu-ray, and the bonus I have for volume 3 is a leaflet about the behind the scenes for the recording. The special edition for volume 4 comes with this acrylic stand with 3 teachers wearing glasses. Hoshi, Kobayashi, and Mr. Nakamura, the teacher for ethics. The bonus paper for this volume is also an illustration of Nakamura. For Phantom Busters, I did buy the entire set not that long ago, but it's still sitting in a warehouse in Japan, so hopefully I can get it soon. And for the Mortifying Ordeal, I only own its ebooks, so unfortunately for these 2 works, I've got nothing to show here. That is all for now. Thank you all again for making it to the end of this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!